Okay, we are back with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, my special guest, and my bestie Kat with the Say Hi Kat. Hi, Dr.
Hi.
Bryant. This is such an important
Welcome back.
episode because many of my episodes we talk about fun things, sex, dating, relationship, but now today we're talking about things that really affect our lives. I know you guys send me a million more questions for Dr. Bryant. I'm not gonna have time to tap into everything. A lot of girls send me questions to you about like people in unhappy relationships. Maybe we're gonna have to do another episode because this theme is so rich, and there are a few more questions about that. So let's just continue and include as much as the questions as I possibly can. So this morning, kind of on the same theme of self-esteem. Coincidentally, as I was planning the episode, I was watching the Today Show and I was just telling Kat, and I couldn't believe my eyes. You girls tell me if you agree with me or not, okay? Complete honest, because this is like a 100% honest conversation. This, whatever expert, lifestyle expert was saying that now there's a huge hike in plastic surgery. Like, and women are going nuts doing facelifts, lip fillers, boob jobs, la la la. And then this is the explanation she gave. She's like, oh yeah, because the pandemia, everybody started doing Zoom calls and they're looking at themselves on the screen, and then they like look in the mirror and they're like, I don't look good enough, and la 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 la, and I'm gonna work on my body. And then she's like, oh, and a lot of people have this extra money because they didn't travel during the pandemic. So they're getting this money and investing on their body. And I looked at it and then I'm like, whoa, stop it. Because to me, I saw so many red flags on this conversation that I couldn't even believe, like the host on the Today Show was like, oh, that is so great. So what is the number one procedure? And I'm like, isn't anybody going to say, wait a minute, stop it. Are you really going to the doctor and getting plastic surgery because you don't like the way you look in Zoom calls? I mean, to me, and if you guys disagree, I'm not saying anything wrong with plastic surgery, okay? Number one, I think you should do anything you want that makes you feel better about yourself. So that's number one, because I know I'm going to get messages from people out there. But my point is, if you are doing it because you're looking at yourself at like Zoom calls and you're like, oh, I gotta go and fix my entire body because I don't like the way I look, to me, that's a self-esteem problem. Do you agree, girls? Doctor first.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it goes deeper, and this is the deal. So as body dysmorphia goes up, that's really what it is, right? As body dysmorphia goes up, which is self-esteem and self-worth and all that stuff starts to decline, then relationships go down. So you got body dysmorphia, relationships go down, folks are starting to try to be perfect, and anything perfect, remember this, is dehumanized. So the more perfect you become, right, the more robotic you become, the less human you are. Now, relationships operate off of human, not off of robotic. What does that mean? That if you can't show up in a place that is who you are, then you are showing up in a robotic space that's very unhuman, dehumanized. There's no emotion. So as folks start to do this whole, and it's not cosmetic surgery, it's more of, like you were saying, they are trying to come out of who they are to be perfect. Relationships are declining, divorce rates going up. The relationship with themselves is declining. What does that mean? That depression is at an all-time high.
Wow.
Suicide is at an all-time high. Suicide is now at an all-time high in communities where it was never even prevalent, i.e.
Really?
Suicide used to be, and I'm not saying, I also don't like this, but it used to be a white thing. Suicide has now become a black thing.
Oh,
Suicide
God,
was
so
high
sad. Yes,
in
it's
the white
heartbreaking.
communities. And now it's high in communities where it didn't used to be. Why? Because of what you're saying, Kat. Folks are starting to become so unhappy with who they are. Hold on, in their appearance, right? That is eating them up internally, because externally they're dying and they're miserable.
I know it's, maybe it's an absurd question, but how do you fix it? Is there like a quick fix?
So there's no quick fix. And this is why I am a huge advocate for life coaching and therapy being a lifestyle. Yeah. I am in this field for 15 years as a doctor of psychology, and I have a therapist. I have a coach that I go to once a month for the rest of my life. I will go. And God forbid my coach or therapist dies, I'm going to find a new one and keep going. This is the thing. It's not an overnight fix, but can it be fixed? Absolutely. But people have to draw back into self and pull back their external bait and bait themselves. It's a self-love thing, Kat. It's a self-love thing. It's, okay, what can I find about myself that I can really love? Not what can I find in Kat that I can love. It goes, what can I find in me first that I can love? And then guess what? As I love the hell out of myself, I can love the hell out of you two ladies and everyone else I come in contact with. Yes, but until I can do that, I am also loving you through a mask. If I mask myself, I'm damn sure masking our relationship. So anyone who's having those issues with themselves and picking themselves apart, they're doing it with you in your relationship mentally and internally, 1,000%. Just because they're not speaking on it. And this is why it's important. Let me tell you how we can help each other as women and men out there too. But as women, we have to start to empower each other verbally every freaking chance that we get. Yes. And then we have to start to receive it when we get it from women. Yes. So if I, oh my God, like you look gorgeous right now. Like I'm loving the way you're looking on Zoom. You have to be able to say, girl, thank you. And really feel it, right? And not just like, no, you know, I don't like the way I look and I can't stand this. That is self-talk that will always demise you. You have to go and say, you know what? I do look gorgeous. Yeah. If Dr. B said it, then I am a rock star. And so, like in my home, it's my mother and I and family, but my mom and I know we run around all day long and we compliment each other all day long. Or we say it loud. So I love that. Look at me, I'm amazing. My mom would say, yes, you are. That's my baby. Or I would yell across the room like, Mom, you look so gorgeous right now. And she'll go, oh, thank you, baby. But all day long, we empower each other. And one more tip on that, Kat, and then, you know, you can move on if you want to, but every day, I want everyone to do this because it's life-changing. Every single day, you wake up and you find and choose a person that you are going to empower the way that you want to be empowered. But this is the key thing. It's the way you want to be empowered. And so when I compliment women, I know that I make eye contact. I want them to know that I see them because that's how I want to be complimented. And I pick something I really love about them. Like I really love your blonde hair. I just do. I just took out braids that had blonde in it. So I would say like, Kat, like I love your blonde hair. Like I love the way it looks on you. Your hair looks thick and healthy right now. Like, girl, I love it. It does look really good today. I told her, I was like,
and we were talking really about like, oh, this morning was so rushed and I came with my workout clothes. I didn't have time to do makeup, but whatever, let's rock and roll.
I'm like, girl, your hair is
But yeah, this is a really simple but so effective idea. So yeah, I'm gonna put it out there. I started doing that because I read it somewhere. Like when I go out and about in the world, if I see a girl with a pretty outfit or pretty earrings or the gorgeous nails, like your nails, now I'm noticing your nails, I'm like, I tell them because I think that little thing can change their day. Like, oh my God, you look so great in pink. Like you said, oh, look at your hair. Oh, and many times they don't expect it. I notice that most people are not used to be, and they're like, oh, thank you. You know, like they can be having like a crazy boring day. And if you like just spread out, I think it's kind of like a chain of positive energy.
A chain of like joy.
Yeah.
Spread. Because my mom over the pandemic, she's like, what do you want to do with your life? And I'm like, I don't know. I just want to spread joy. And she's like, okay, something where you can make money hopefully someday. Like, I'm like, I just want to spread joy, Ma.
But that is like a really good thing to do.
That's not a bad way to make money, Kat, because, you know, the quickest way to wealth is through service. And if you can serve everybody through an act of joy, you might be pretty close to getting wealthy, maybe a lot quicker than the folks who can't do it.
Yes.
So just so you know, that's not a bad idea.
I love that idea.
I will tell my mom.
Yes.
I say, spreading joy can't. It's just kind of the right way. I'm doing interior decorating.
But yes, I think as women, joy. Honestly, it breaks my heart when I see women competing with each other. Like they see each other as competition in any field. Like in my field, I tried inviting other podcasters and they decline it like because they think, and I say, I'm not your, there is room for everybody. There is room for a million coaches, a million models, a million podcasters, a million actors, a million art. If we join forces, we are so much stronger. And I think, like I said, it's such a much better example for the teenagers, the next generation coming in. If we tell them, stop like with the peer pressure, stop calling the other one fatter, stop calling the other one thinner, like you just gave examples, talk about their hair and how much you love them or how much they dress great, and be inspirational. I think if we start sending this message more, I know it's kind of like utopian, but honestly, the world would be such a much better place, right?
Yeah. And then the other thing is, if we start to make sure that we do all those things within ourselves, and we learn not to personalize what other people do because it's their stuff, that's another really important thing. Then we are no longer affected about the external sources and external, should I say, words and voices, because we're really grounded. The more grounded you get in yourself, the less you care about what's going on outside of you. You still care about people. It's a really unique balance of, I care about you, but I can care less what you think about me. And that's powerful, and that's freedom. So the more that you ground in you, right? You're grounded and aligned with you. You are a sturdy oak. So you become, in the world, not of the world. And so when the world does this crazy stuff, you're not on an emotional roller coaster with the world, i.e. people who have a different opinion of you. You become what I call emotionally intelligent. Emotional intelligence says, I can feel the way I feel. You can feel the way you feel. It doesn't affect me. We can still coexist, and we can still have dinner and lunch together and like different wines. I don't like red. You do. I'm not going to order red. You order yours, I'll order mine. And let's find something that we do like to talk about, or we do like to do together, and let's concentrate on that.
I love it. I hope I am going to rewind this episode many times and listen to your all over again, because you say so many powerful things. So I really hope you guys, like, if you're listening now, go back to these phrases and remember, because there's like so much fantastic information that we can apply to our lives, including me in many ways, and including you, because I think, like, honestly, like I said, Kat is a brilliant girl. She's gorgeous, and she has this crazy self-image issue. So I'm using her as an example, because I tell girls out there, love yourself, love yourself, love yourself, love yourself, right? We all have something beautiful to love about ourselves.
100%.
Okay, now I'm going to transition. It's kind of on the same subject, transitioning into the dating world. Nowadays, most people use dating apps. Okay, so here we go. Everybody always sends this question. The number one complaint on dating apps for men and women is that a lot of people alter their photos on dating apps, fake their photos on dating apps to create a better impression. So why would you want somebody to meet you? When they meet you, they're like, and guys say that all the time, oh, I met that girl and she was nothing like the photos. Why would you do that in the first place?
Okay, you know that I haven't really tried these apps, but I did have a theory. Like, people should do the reverse of that. They should post like the picture that they look terrible in.
Yes.
So it's like, then the guy sees them in real life. They're like, oh my God. It's like, you should like,
yes.
It's like, okay, post like your like scrubbiest picture, like your worst picture. And then the guy sees you in real life and they're like, hot damn, right?
But so that's the question too. But why do people do that if you're going to have to meet in real life? And how do you tell people, stop it, be yourself. If you're going to
post like your worst pictures, right? Then the guys be like, oh my God, like so happy.
What is your suggestion on that note, doctor?
This may sound superficial, but it's not. Because we're talking about dating. If you look at the most beautiful, of course, arguably beautiful women in the world that are celebrities or just that in your circle, okay? And I may ruffle some feathers right now, and that's great because I don't care. I'm here to
love it. You're right up my alley.
Not be your BFF, right?
I love it.
BFF help. So,
yes.
If you look at the most beautiful women across the whole gamut of race and size and all that, They are the least married. They are the least proposed to, and I'm just stating statistics and facts. And it's a lot of times because of what we're talking about. They have a lot of aesthetics, but they don't have the substance. Now, aesthetics can attract, substance will keep. Okay?
Amen. I'm going to drop my microphone and do this.
That's one thing that, like, I learned moving to Los Angeles. It's like, oh, everyone here is hot, but what makes you different?
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. And now, when you get into relationships, we're talking about dating. The place you're going to connect at for longevity is the heart space. The heart doesn't have an aesthetics. That's why it's in your body, and you can't see it. You can only feel it. And so, if you want to connect with somebody, you have to connect at the heart space. I always say, if we connect at the heart space, cat and cat, you have a friend for life. But if we connect at the head space, when the memory goes, there I go.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that is how it works with aesthetics. We connect at the mind space, the optics. Ooh, she's gorgeous. He's handsome. Our partners, whatever people's sexual preference is nowadays, this person's attractive. And it's not lasting long because you have these unhuman robotic people who are leading with their external self. When you can't fuse outside, fusing is an inside job. It's systemically. So if I can fuse with you at the heart space, then we can rock and roll. But if I fuse that, you look at this at the aesthetic place, where's the connection?
Yeah.
The connection has to go this way. It is not this way.
In my mind, and I say that over and over again, I think you decided to date through a dating app. Fantastic. You start from the losing ground if you're faking your image out there, because you're already starting with the lie. And like you said, I think the person needs to love you, of course, on the outside, because it's chemistry, but they need to love who you are inside. In my case, I'm a major sapiosexual. Like, if I don't have a mental connection with someone, I cannot even look at them. And in a lot of people, it's like that. It's chemistry, but when we talk about chemistry, it's like you were saying, it's physical chemistry, but it's mind chemistry, it's heart chemistry, it's a bunch of different things.
Right? You said that because I was just going to say, when you said, chemistry is physical, I was just going to say, it was going to, challenge you with a lot of love and say, hey, Kat, but is chemistry really physical? Because chemistry is that. It's chemically attractive, meaning my pheromones. Pheromones are something that you cannot see. It's a hormone that's energetically released in a woman when she's attracted to something. It's a pheromone. So chemistry means my pheromones are released. Chemistry means the other person's receiving them and releasing their attractive receptors. That's energy. That's deeper than aesthetics. This is why you get a very unattractive woman with a very good looking man, or a very unattractive man with a very good looking woman. And you're going, well, how in the heck did that happen? They had chemistry, and their substance, their inside, their heart, their soul has fused. So they are actually very blessed and lucky because they got to have something that they can really feel, not just something they can touch. See, I don't want something I can touch, because touching something is limited. Anything you can touch is limited because you can describe it. It looks like this, it's round, it's green, it's this, it's that. Anything you can't touch but you can feel intensely, that's infinite. Because you can't describe it. You just know it feels amazing. You know that it feels full and it feels free. And so we want to make sure, like you were saying, I know we're running out of time, but you want to make sure that you are being intimate, opening up yourself so people can intimately see you, because you're going to connect. If you want something long-term, you're going to connect at that space. Now, if you just want sex, go for the aesthetics, do your thing. Hey, I'm not judging.
Right. That's a whole different ball game.
Podcast segment, right?
You
want something long term, you have to open up. I know, quick story is when I first met my ex-fiance, before we even got into relationship, he started to talk about relationships, and he really was liking me and all that stuff. And I'm very aware of my aesthetics. I know that, okay, I'm attractive, so that
you're gorgeous.
Thank you so much. But we were at lunch, our dinner one time, and I said, listen, Let me tell you a little bit about myself so you know who you're choosing. And I just went straight inside. I said, listen, I was an abandoned little girl. So I'm an abandoned woman. What does that mean? That means that sometimes randomly, for no reason at all, you're going to trigger me and I'm going to show up and I'm going to look like I have no screws because I don't. And so in those moments when I look like I have no screws, my abandonment is inflamed and I'm that scared little girl who was abandoned. And I'm going to need you to reassure me. I'm going to need you to facilitate me, be kind and gentle with me. So I want to let you know that as you get this beautiful woman who's fun and amazing and positive and empowering, there's moments where she flips her script and she shows up very, very dysfunctional. And my pain is going to be something you also have to deal with. Can you handle all of my moving parts? Because it may be too much for you, because it's the deal. You can't take people in fibers. You take the whole quilt,
the whole package. Absolutely. I think we all have a vulnerable side. We all have a history. We all have issues, something that we've been through. And you're absolutely right. The right person is going to take the way you look, the beauty, but they're also going to be able to put up with the, whatever baggage, whatever's
the good. Yeah. My mom would always say, like, take the good with the bad, It's like, and you kind of have to weigh it out. Like,
you just nailed it. So I guess we all agree. Anybody out there listening, I get this question all the time. Let's put it to bed. If you really want to find a relationship, don't start it with a lie. Don't post
love yourself first.
Post a real picture.
And it even goes deeper, right? We all want to be loved unconditionally. So we say, right? I want to be loved unconditionally. Unconditionally means with no conditions. So watch this. How can you allow somebody to love you unconditionally if you don't show your conditions? The reason why I showed that man my conditions at the beginning was I wanted to make sure that he was going to love my little tail unconditionally. So I said, let me show you my conditions so you can let me know if you can love them.
Yeah.
Because I love
that.
Can you handle the truth?
I'm like, look at my conditions.
I love it.
I am amazing, but I got some mess in here. So let me open up this closet and let me show you what some of these ripped jeans look like, what some of these halter tops look like. Can you love all of it?
Yes.
Okay. And of course he said yes, but here we are not together. So this is why I say you have to make sure that those yeses are follow throughs with actions that show you, I got you, Kat. And Kat, I can facilitate you. Your stuff is not too big for me. And if it is too big for that person, doesn't make them a bad person. It just means they weren't equipped to deal with you.
Exactly. I think the wrong people live for a reason. So you find the right one. And of course, it's heartbreaking. We've all been through that. I've been through that 10 billion times. 10 million podcast episodes, but I really think everything makes you grow, as cheesy as it is, and you open the path to finding the right person. Yes.
For sure. I feel like, and my observation of some people, it's like you would think that some people would grow from their life experiences, but not everyone does.
Well, you hope, you learn. Like, some people take a long time to learn. I think it was my case after and I was in an abusive marriage for 15 years.
Oh, wow.
So after the abusive marriage, my behavior was I kept getting tangled up with men that were verbally abusing me again, treating me like absolute shit again. And believe it or not, my therapy and my learning was the podcast. I started doing the podcast and talking to experts, crazy intelligent women like yourself, and I was learning. And then I started listening.
It became cathartic.
Yes, and then when I started listening to the first episodes, I was like, who the hell is this woman that would put up with this shit again? Are you freaking kidding me? That's how I learned. And this is why I love doing it, because when we finish an episode, if one girl out there listens to us and she's like, you know what, I'm going to love myself a little more. I deserve a fulfilling relationship. I deserve a man that loves and adores me. I think we're all doing our jobs, right?
100%. And I love what you said, Kat, because you said for 15 years I got caught up in calibrating, which means attracting, because life is all about law of attraction, not insertion. So we attract these things to us. We don't search or insert ourselves into these things. So you have to be calibrating that. And I say that to say the reason why you were attracting that nonstop for 15 years, because it became your norm.
Yeah.
It became so embedded in your DNA that
Yes.
it became your calibration.
Yes.
And now no matter how much you were like, I don't want that, and this doesn't feel good,
Yeah.
and I'm actually not condoning it, but why in the heck do I keep attracting it? Because it became your calibration. So what does that mean? We have to really, really, really be very extremely selective about what we are allowing our environment to be, because that will create our norm. So a woman who, i.e., settles for a certain type of man that she knows that she would not marry, listen, my love, you're creating that norm of type of man.
Yes.
So if you attracting these men that you're settling for, our partners are settling for, is because you have settled once, twice too many, and that's became your normal calibration. Because your energy will start to weave that at which you choose more and more. So if you want to attract something different, you have to start to choose only, I'm going to say this really loud in all capital letters, only choose the things that you would want to continuously attract.
Amen.
If you don't want to continuously attract that, you got to stop choosing it now.
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you guys, we are running out of time. I have 2 minutes left. I got dozens and dozens of questions about this subject of being in abusive relationships, being in unhappy relationships. How do I get out with no guilt? I'm gonna have to do a whole new episode about that, guys, because this is such a powerful, complicated subject. So I will invite you back, and hopefully you will come back, because I know a lot of my listeners are going to be like, but you didn't talk about that. We are trying to, this is such a rich episode, and I am so grateful. I get emotional for nothing. I don't want to cry right now. But thank you, Kat. Thank you, Dr. Bryant. You are incredible. I was already a huge fan of your work because I look at your social media every single day. By the way, guys, go there, follow her, because she posts incredible stuff. You post like every day, right, Dr. Bryant? So check it out. It's _ Dr. Bryant with the Y, and I am most definitely going to invite you back so we can talk about, because your insights are crazy rich. Thank you with all my heart for doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kat. But really quick, thank you so much, Kat. But I do want to say this before we end, that I want to thank you for being so bold and so courageous, such a rock star for pulling out of those abusive relationships, because that psychological pattern is one of the hardest patterns to break from.
Yes.
It is one of the hardest dysfunctions to break from. Yes. It is one of the darkest holes to pull out of and find the light switch is hell.
Yes.
And the fact that you were able to say, although I don't like this and I feel stuck in it, I got to pull out of it. Yeah. And you went and found your strong, sweet spot somewhere, you know, with having supportive folks like Kat with the C. But I want to honor you. I want to tell you that, I want to, you know, that I commend you for being strong and continue to speak and be advocates for ladies who are still in that relationship, who are still in that dark place, because you know it is not easy.
No.
And every time they hear someone like you say, I got out, I'm out of that damn thing, you empower them and help them get a little bit closer to getting the heck out of there. So
I have goosebumps.
And being a leader in that space, because you need those women who will speak on their story,
1,000,000%,
who will not take the shit anymore, empower the other women to get out of there.
1,000,000%. I have tears in my eyes. I have goosebumps.
No, she's a rock star.
And I'm gonna tell you ladies, I promise, I swear to God, we will do a whole episode about that, because if you're out there, you can get out. I swear to God, I will bring Dr. Bryant back very soon. I promise you, we will talk about it. We will give you tools if there are any tools, because I'm not an expert. I share my story 1,000,000 times over because I know it's really tough. But if you're out there listening to us, reach out, look at her Instagram, reach out to me. I swear to God, we are going to come back and talk about it, because this is all fun and games. But at the end of the day, if we can help other women out there with anything, I feel like we're stronger together.
Yeah, they can reach out to me also for questions. They can reach out to me via email and ask questions. They can reach out to me for whatever coaching.
Go for it.
As their doctor as well. I extend myself because I am extremely passionate about people being healthy and living the best quality of life they can. That is a human life.
Girl power. Thank you. This was such a fantastic episode. Thank you with all my heart. You are amazing. I really appreciate it. Have the most wonderful day. This was I think one of the most special Cat on the Loose I ever did, if not the most special. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I promise you I'll bring Dr. Bryant back, because an hour obviously is not enough to talk about so many important topics for women out there. Thank you, Doctor. You're incredible. Mwah, 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 mwah. And I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you. Mwah.